Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, HollywoodShono here. I'll give you another Clash Royale video. In this video, we're going to start off by showing off that HollywoodShono now has level 8 Barbarians, which I feel is a very essential troop for both offense and defense, as it does help shut down Hog Riders and Princes very easily. It also allows you to stop Pekkas from making an advance on your base, and it also deals with giant skeletons pretty well, even though a mini P.E.K.K.A could do a pretty good job of that. So as you see, we get 100 XP for that, and it's going to take 400 Barbarians to actually get to level 9, and we're probably going to keep requesting that because we want our common troops maxed out. That way, I don't mind actually giving them out. So we're going to show off some clan replays here, as we do have a couple of them set up. We're going to start off with HollywoodShono dominating high-level players. So here we go with the Minion Horde, and we're going to start with this replay here. So HollywoodShono going up against FFOO Jamie. And you can see he's pretty much got a crown pushing deck here. He's got the Prince, Hogs, and a Wizard. So he starts off with archers in the back, and we actually do the same thing. And he puts out a bomb tower. And basically what the bomb tower means is we put out a baby dragon and deal with the bomb tower. So we put a P.E.K.K.A in the back. The archers you can pretty much ignore. They're only going to get like 2 hits on the tower, maybe 1. The Wizard on the baby dragon, P.E.K.K.A coming up front. We're going to place arrows to deal with the Minion Horde. And it also takes out Spear Goblins, so 7 elixir of value for 3. So the P.E.K.K.A does not get a hit on the tower, but we managed to take out his defense. So here we're kind of waiting for a push from the opponent again. And again we play something cheap, the archers. So giant P.E.K.K.A on the left, giant skeleton on the right. Now here's a critical play here. We use the mini P.E.K.K.A to one-shot the Wizard. Giant skeleton cannot do anything, and our P.E.K.K.A is going to wreak havoc on his base. So that bomb right in the middle, and mini P.E.K.K.A doing its work. Another 2 elixirs value here. Here he throws out the Minion Horde again. And we throw out the arrows. So the P.E.K.K.A is going to do some damage on the base. Wallbreaker cashes in on those Spear Goblins. So the Spear Goblin gets 1 shot on the base as well. And our towers are pretty much pristine, other than the archers in the beginning. So here we place the archers again. He places a bomb tower defensively. And because we actually have the first crown, that's not actually a good idea because we throw our P.E.K.K.A out. Here he throws the giant skeleton out. We're going to ignore it. Wizard is out as well. And a bomb tower gets destroyed by the P.E.K.K.A. Hog Rider and a skeleton out. So again, we ignore it. We just use our Barbarians. Because if we play defense, he's just going to clean up a crown. Here we arrow everything down again as he places the Spear Goblins and the Minions. So a easy 3 crown by HollywoodShono in Arena 6. So next up we have Dappin against HollywoodShono, and thank you Alex for the Barbarians. Appreciate you, sir. Now we're actually almost at 1,900 crowns. We're pretty close to hitting Royal Arena. We actually had a fight in Royal Arena, but I think we ended up losing that 0-1. So here he throws out Spear Goblins, and we're going to use the P.E.K.K.A to just soak up all of those hits, as he's trying to place a spawner jack with the elixir pumps and with the Goblin Hunt. But that really doesn't do much against the P.E.K.K.A. So the Wallbreaker cashes, and there's the Minion Horde. We use some arrows. We're going to get a couple hits on this base. Now, I really like it when people use Minion Horde against me because with the arrows, you always get value from it. Here he throws out the Prince, and we throw out the Baby Dragon. And the reason we throw out the Baby Dragon is because it's a spawner deck. We use the archers to slow down the Prince. And down it goes. We take about 700 damage to our tower, but we're able to make another push with this Baby Dragon just to kind of stall the opponent. Knowing he really doesn't have a whole lot of stuff to deal with, we're just going to throw out the Wizard and build up our splash. for something else, like a mini P.E.K.K.A. But here we throw out a wall breaker, so that splash is going to do nothing. So we arrow the elixir pump down. That's important too because it does deny him a little bit of elixir. He is full. At this point, I think he quits. He's not even doing anything unless he's waiting for a counter push. Here we're kind of just letting the spear goblin tick away. So we got the Barbarians. At this point, it looks like he isn't doing anything. So we're kind of just making a splash push. We want to get that first crown before we send the P.E.K.K.A. So down goes the other Spear Goblin Hut, and yeah, it looks like this guy's a quitter in Arena 6. So here we throw out the big P.E.K.K.A, and it's pretty much game over at this point. And HollywoodShono takes an Indonesian to school 3-0 in Arena 6. So now we're going to show a replay from my second account, YouTube Shono against LXL, and this is Arena 4 gameplay. So we have a pretty solid composition for Arena 4. We've been using the Baby Dragon, Wall Breaker, Spear Goblins, the Arrows, Valkyrie, Barbarians, Giant, and it's been working pretty well. Here we throw the Bomber out, because Witches don't do pretty well against it. We're going to throw the Valkyrie behind the Witch. It's very important because it takes out the Witch quickly. Throw Barbarians at the back to minimize the damage to our target. The Valkyrie and the Knight are going to pretty much trade off. And the Wall Breaker allows us to finish off. So here, we're kind of just waiting for a play. Here we just throw out our Giant, knowing he really doesn't have much. The Valkyrie is going to deal with those barbs, but the barbs shut it down pretty quickly because it's only a level 3 Valkyrie. Here we're going to get a lot of damage on this tower as the Baby Dragon doesn't do a whole lot of damage. It does do pretty well against minions and Spear Goblins, but against larger troops like even Hog Riders, it's not going to beat it down pretty quickly. And we throw that out. A minion horde comes out. It's going to be able to deal with this Giant pretty easily. So here we kind of just wait and build up our elixir. So he throws out 7 elixir worth of stuff. We use 3 to deal with it. So that's a net gain of 4 elixir. That's why whenever I see the minion horde, it's a huge value if you don't have a freeze. And if my arrows are up, it's pretty much easy domination here. So here we know the opponent is pretty weak. We place a Valkyrie in the back. That allows us to set up with a Giant. So we place the Giant in the front. And places a Witch on the right side. That is terrible because we're just going to ignore the Witch. Here we throw out the Barbarians to deal with all that stuff quickly. Spear Goblins to help deal with that Knight a little faster. So knowing he's got the minion horde, we're going to place our Baby Dragon. And we're going to go get some elixir for these arrows. So there's the minion horde placed in the back. That's the worst thing you could do because it actually allows us to get some hits on his base. The Baby Dragon is out. Our Giant comes out and too little too late. There's a 3 count by YouTube Shono, dominating yet another opponent. So we get a 1-star against a level 7 in Arena 4. I don't understand how we get bad players like that. And we're going to show this replay how not to use balloons. So he places a balloon in the very back of the base. Now, why this is a bad idea is it actually gives us time to counter with the Baby Dragon. Keep in mind the Musketeer is a better counter against balloons, but in Arena 4, you don't see that very often. Here he places a Rage Spell. The Baby Dragon is locked on the balloon, so he gets 1 hit off. And Minion Horde trades very well as arrows hit it for 3 elixir and he spent 5. Here we throw the mini P.E.K.K.A against the Musketeer, and we should make a big dent in this first tower. And we do get the first tower with the Baby Dragon. Here he puts out a Hog Rider. We're going to place Barbarians to counter it to minimize damage on our tower. So he gets 1 hit in, 4 elixir spent for 1 hit on the tower. Valkyrie goes down, Barbarians go down. We're going to place a Bomber. to help deal with the Barbarians a little bit easier. So we're going to get a couple hits on the tower. It looks like he's going to try the balloon again. This time he actually places it closer. So it looks like he is going to get the tower as my spear goblins were just used. So that crown goes down. This time he doesn't place the rage, knowing the balloon is in trouble. Now you always want to have something that counters air troops, whether it's minions, which do work really well against balloons. Here we kind of just ignore the minions and we start making our next push. So we're going to let the giant and the mini P.E.K.K.A just destroy this musketeer. So the giant's going to get up there. You see he's only got the Hog Rider available. Now here's a pretty stupid play. He uses a rocket on a single giant. Only takes out about half of his health. So knowing that he used that, we're going to place barbs on the other side. He places a Hog Rider. We're just going to ignore it. Wall Breaker and Barbarians. And the Spear Goblin. So he places his own Barbarians. So now we're placing the giant on the left side. And he places the mini horde. We're not going to be able to react to that yet, but we're going to arrow it down. And that's going to allow us to easily get this second tower. So now that'll allow us to push on both sides. The musketeer gets traded in. Here we throw the barbs again. He's playing offense. And we don't even care about this tower at this point because we're easily going to get the 3 crown over him. So we cash in and RRR gets dominated by YouTube Shono. So free spell value ends up giving me 1 crown. Take that fucker using Witch's Baby Dragon and Minion Horde. Pretty good splash combination. Here is Mohammed, also known as Cheetos 237, against Jimmy. So he has the giant skeleton and the baby dragon. So he uses a wizard to deal with the big ass giant skeleton. Baby dragon and the wizard will go at. Wizard does trade favorably against the baby dragon. There's the minion horde. Some of it gets taken out by the wizard. And he does arrow it down, so that's a net gain of 2 elixir for Cheetos. Here he places a balloon. He's gonna use the minion horde, which is smart here. And that does deal with the balloon very well. Thank you, Arkham83, for the like on the Injustice video on Camcord. Appreciate you, bro. Here the minions do get some value on that tower. There's the witch. He's probably going to use the baby dragon here to trade favorably. He could also use a mini P.E.K.K.A in the back and basically just destroy that witch. So there's the prince. Hopefully he counters with the barbarian. Yes, he does. Great play. That's how you do it. So the baby dragon is going to get traded. He might get a couple hits on the tower. Got 1 hit on the tower.
Showtime! Fireball!
So arrows on the minions will prevent damage to the tower. Now he can actually make a push with the Hog Rider. Although he has the skeleton army out. Fireball. So now that he used the skeleton army, hopefully Mohammed goes right. Looks like he's saving elixir. Hog Riders and the minions could do a lot of damage. Looks like he's just playing defensively here. So he does place the Hog Rider and the mini P.E.K.K.A. He uses the rocket right on the base. And free spell allows him to get the 1 crown against the prince. Now that he actually has enough time to actually react and deal with the prince with the barbarians. He also has a balloon, so he can use the minion horde. Minion horde is going to be able to trade into the prince a little bit easier, and he throws out his own minion horde. So he throws out the baby dragon. It does deal with the balloon in time. So great play there. And now he can use the wizard to trade favorably against the witch. He throws out another prince. He's going to have enough time to get the barbarians out again. So great job, Cheetos, getting the 1 crown and denying a higher level player a crown. At this point, there really isn't much you can do. He can just freeze whatever comes out and wins the game. And that's exactly what he does. Great game, Cheetos' way to deal with this scrub in Arena 5. Always nice to see people beating up high-level players. And speaking of high-level players, we're going to show a special replay from Mirage. And this is a level 9 getting beaten by a level 6. And this is why it's important here. It's basically a spawner deck. They're both playing spawner decks, but a level 9 should have no problems 3-crowning a level 6. And this is where the spawners, in my opinion, don't work all that great, because if you're dealing with spawners, you have to have something high damage to go with that. The giant skeleton and the wizards can do a good job of that if you actually know how to play them. So he freezes the archers. That is the worst thing you can do. I would just let them get hits on the tower. He also has a mirror spell and a rage spell. However, I don't see the value of a giant skeleton with rage. So he kind of just throws out a wizard. That's going to trade favorably against the Barbarians. He's going to have to use the Musketeer. Now he might want to arrow all that stuff down. Throws out the Barbarians anyways. And he does arrow the minions down. The Barbarians are a solid troop for denying the push. It does allow him to get further in the base. And another free spell. I really don't understand the way this guy's using free spells. This is why he's in Arena 5 at level 9. At level 9, you should be in like Royal Arena or high in the Builder's Workshop, not in Arena 5. So that's the sign of a bad player when you have to freeze the opponent just to deny damage on your tower. Now in Mirage's defense, you want to have something like a wall breaker or a wizard to deal with these spawners. You have to have area damage, and even Valkyries work very well against the spawner deck. Now I really like the Musketeer if you're using something like a giant. Musketeer can work very well. So this guy's just going to place elixir pumps and spawner huts all day long. Here he's got the Barbarian hut, and he places it kind of above the crown tower, so hopefully it takes damage off of it. He freezes that. Basically all it does is halt production. I don't understand that play at all. Here he finally throws out his first giant skeleton 2 minutes into the match. Throws out a second giant skeleton, which is only level 3. The Barbarians are going to get owned by that first bomb, but because he's spawning a bunch of Barbarians, here he rages up 1, maybe 2 troops, and Giant Skeleton doesn't do much damage against Barbarians. Here he freezes more huts. This is like the worst free spell player ever. Here that bomb is going to KO like everything. And throws out a wizard. Now wizard can work really well. The problem is, it is a fairly soft card. Here he tries to use a rage. And that wizard's going to get destroyed by the spear goblins. And throws out another giant skeleton. Now keep in mind when you're playing with spawner stuff, all you have to do is place troops, and he can't even do anything. This has got to be the worst freeze player in the game. I don't understand this. And he's going to mirror another freeze spell. That's 9 elixirs spent freezing up all this garbage. So here I don't even think it's worth using arrows. He does use it anyway, so now the Barbarians are still coming out. Places another hut. This is like the battle of the spawners. Here he places an elixir collector. That's really dumb, considering he's in overtime. And he freezes the Barbarians again. Now he throws out the Musketeer. I think that's the first one we've seen in, like, the whole game. Throws out another mirror freeze. And now he freezes... Looks like Mirage freezed the tower. So arrows down that garbage. And Mirage gets a 1 crown against an Arena 9, or a level 9 player. That is just pathetic. I don't understand. That's got to be like the worst freeze player in the game, I swear. That is just pathetic. Alright, so next replay we have Hilarious Arrow Clutch featuring a Rage Quit by Johnny Boy. And again, this is a level 6 versus a level 7 against Nightmare. So here he's got the P.E.K.K.A and Balloons. And the Hog Rider, so this is a really good counter push deck here. So basically if he goes one way, he can send the P.E.K.K.A in the start. And that's exactly what he does in the back. So are we going to see a Minion Horde? I think he's waiting on the Minion Horde because he can actually push left with the Balloons and Hog Riders. Looks like he's just going to go for it. And he throws the minion horde on the left side. He throws a wizard on the right, so that P.E.K.K.A is going to do a lot of damage. Here he can just use his own minion horde against it. He tries to zap the P.E.K.K.A, and that's exactly what he does. And he barely misses the one crown. So he's using a wizard. I'd probably use a wall breaker at this point. You don't really need to use barbs on it. You could just one-shot the barbs and take a hit. You got to drop them on the wizard, though. I know he probably did it to deny damage to the tower. There's the regular goblins, and that will hack away at the barb's health. I don't think he's going to get a hit on the tower. Alright, so he throws out a prince with barbarians. He's going to have to play a P.E.K.K.A defensively. And that's not always the best thing to do, as that P.E.K.K.A is going to get shredded. Throws out a bomber, and it is going to trade with the prince. That was well played. Freeze wasted. Although he does zap the tower. Now, because he did all that, I would place... He could have placed the Hog Riders for the balloons, but it looks like he's going to try for both towers. Here he thinks there's a minion horde coming out. That's not the case. It looks like he's just softening up the tower a little bit more. The only thing I don't like about that play is he can try to use the minion horde, and it's going to be a lot less challenge, but he does have wizards and minions up, so he goes into double OT. There's a Hog Rider with minions. So he throws a wizard in the back. That tower is going to get decimated. He uses a freeze spell. It does not hit the wizard. And there's the first crown by Nightmare. So Hog Rider and balloons. Looks like... Oh, that zap was pretty good, though. And 50 health on that tower. Now the minions... The wizard gets dominated by those minions. Wizard gets dominated by the minions. Here we kind of just have to ignore him. So he's got to get his thing back, and he freezes the minions. The arrows do get the crown. The wizard gets dominated. So it is 1-1. His tower has like 200 health left. Here he has no good counterplay. He's got to zap that balloon. He doesn't have anything air out. And Johnny Boy gets the overtime victory. Luckily, the arrow saved his ass. Otherwise, he would have lost 1-0. So, a little bit tricky playing that. I don't think he needs balloons in that deck. I think the Hog Riders could be okay, but I'm not exactly sure. Here we're going to show Mr. K against this guy. So, Kyle Engelhardt gets in a replay. As we know, he's pretty antisocial. He doesn't like dealing with people. But... hey, he's still one of my bros. So I would just place the Barbarians at this point. He arrows them down. That could be really bad if he has a minion horde. And he throws out the archers. He does have a P.E.K.K.A available. So let's see where he places it. He places it in the back. So somebody's been paying attention to my replays. And the reason this is really good is he can make a counter push here. Here I'd probably place a baby dragon. Or the minion horde. He places it in front of the P.E.K.K.A. So, luckily it's not hitting on the tower. So he got a little bit lucky there. Now he can place the skeleton army. I think half of it got destroyed by the bomber, though. So, a little bit of polish needed there. And he's going to arrow the witch. That really wasn't a terrible play. Although it looks like the P.E.K.K.A is going to get hit without resistance. So, a couple botches there. I probably would have played the barrel. So Musketeer is going to get dominated by those archers. That was one elixir value there. And the archers are going to get a couple hits on the tower. Now archers I do find to be pretty solid. They do work better against balloons than the spear goblins do. Here he throws a P.E.K.K.A in the back. And minion horde could get a lot, or the minions could get some value here. That's exactly what he plays. So they're going to take damage off the P.E.K.K.A. It's going to trade with those barbarians, although the archers are going to clean them up. So, how does he counter that? Looks like he is going to use the baby dragon so he can one-shot the barbs. That's pretty good. Now he throws the goblin barrel out since it's on the P.E.K.K.A. It doesn't really matter the placement. So, he is going to get this tower. P.E.K.K.A is still up. There's the one crown by Mr. K. Goblins come out. P.E.K.K.A does not get a shot in the base. Here he's just kind of pushing offensively. Baby Dragon and the Barbs are going to get slowed down a little. So here he places a P.E.K.K.A, and the giant skeleton deals with all of that. So he throws the goblin barrel out since it's arrowing these skeletons. That's really good. And he throws out minions. It looks like at this point he's given up. And Mr. K will get the 3 crown. Well played there, Kyle. Well played. So now we have YouTube Shono against Brian. In the clan Awanta. So we have level 6 versus level 6. So here we're kind of waiting for the opponent. Here he places a witch. We're just going to place a giant on the left side, I believe. We kind of just ignore witches. They don't really do much by themselves. So here we're going to place the bomber. Places skeletons and the spear goblins. So that's 3 elixir. Arrows deal with all of that for free. It's basically a trade there. Here he places a Valkyrie on the right. We place spear goblins to deal with the Valkyrie. Wallbreaker kills those goblins, and it's going to deal with pretty good damage against the archers. Here we place the Hog Rider. That's going to let us get the first crown. Try it all you want. So spear goblins, we can pretty much ignore them. It's going to get like 3 hits on the tower. Now he places a goblin hut. And knowing that he's at 9 at low elixir, we're going to place the mini P.E.K.K.A and the giant. Goblins are going to slow down that P.E.K.K.A. We're going to place the baby dragon. P.E.K.K.A's stuck on the skeletons. Now he breaks free. Baby dragon going after the skeletons. I don't understand that one. Spear goblins get taken out by the baby dragon. So the witch gets taken out. We're placing spear goblins on the right just to kind of counter his goblins. That way he keeps off my tower. Now we're kind of saving up elixir here for a barb hog push. Although it looks like we're playing the bomber defensively. Now we're going to be placing the giant. He places another hut. So here, knowing that he spent a lot of elixir, we're just going to place the barbs and the hog riders down. So Valkyrie is going to slow down the barbarians. That was a pretty good play there. Goblins slow down the barbs too. So kind of a wasted arrow there. So we're going to place the giant. And he places a witch in the back. We're going to place the bomber to deal with the skeletons. And that value can add up fairly quickly. Spear goblins get dominated by the bomber. So here we place some barbs defensively. Got double witches out. So we place a mini P.E.K.K.A to just dominate those witches. Now we're going to put a giant out. Valkyrie comes out. And I think at this point he does get the foot to the tower, but we kind of want that so we can 3 crown him. Giant is going to get some hits on this tower. We place a baby dragon to deal with the Valkyrie pretty much for free. And the mini P.E.K.K.A will get rid of the Valkyrie. We throw the barbs to deal with the archers. At this point, we can probably just throw in a Hog Rider and finish him off. Uses a freeze. That was pretty smart, although they're not doing much damage on the bottom. Valkyrie offensively, and Brian, you can get pissed off all you want. You got dominated by YouTube Shono. By not playing defense in the end. And by basically getting outvalued. So here we're bullying a level 5. Then we're going to show Statelover's replay for a 3-star. And he's crying because he knows that YouTube Shono is going to kick his ass. As he just spamming emotes like an idiot. So knowing he's a level 5, we're not going to wait for his reaction. too much. He places a baby dragon. We're going to place a baby dragon of our own to counter. Here he throws a goblin barrel. So we're going to place wall breakers to counter that and minimize damage to our tower. And now we can place a giant in front of it. A witch comes out. And because of the baby dragon, that's going to minimize damage on our giant. We throw spear goblins to deal with the witch a little bit faster. So Prince comes out. We're going to level 1 Prince. We're going to get this first tower fairly easily. Prince is going to get destroyed by the front runner troops. And the bomber and all that. We place a Valkyrie in the front. We know he's got some small troops. Here we throw out a mini P.E.K.K.A. The bomber is going to take out some of those spear goblins. The Valkyrie takes out the bomber. So the mini P.E.K.K.A. is going to get some shots on his base. Does not get the 3 crown there, but fairly close. So all we really need is a baby dragon to get in. Looks like we're going to barb the musketeer. Looks like 3 hits takes it out. We're going to throw a bomber in the back. Barbarians come out. Good thing we put that bomber out, although it looks like the barbs are going to take a beating there. Here we throw out some spear goblins to get some hits, and easy 3 crown on Loris by YouTube Shono. And we're going to show this replay from Statelover. Easy 3-star against Juju 43. And this is in Arena 3. So we got a level 5 going up against a level 6. And when you're a level 6 in Arena 3, you've got to be a horrible player. So here he throws out spawners. It looks like he's going to arrow him. That'll take some value off of him. I'm not sure how he's going to react to this. Looks like he's going to throw out the baby dragon. He throws out a giant, so he throws out barbs to hack away at it quickly so it doesn't do any damage to the tower. And he also throws out a musketeer. There's a bunch of stuff. A bunch of goblins out. The baby dragon trades very favorably with all of them. Musketeer is going to allow him to get some damage in on the tower. So he also throws out a bomber since he's playing a bunch of small stuff. Very well played there. And you really can't do much against it because the bomber, well, the bomber gets taken out there, 99 health. Statelover gets the first crown. He throws out goblins. He can just arrow. Looks like he's going to choose the mini P.E.K.K.A. so he can continue making a push. And saving the arrows for later. So he throws out a giant, and Statelover throws out a baby dragon. That means the mini P.E.K.K.A. is going to do a lot of damage. Here, looks like he's just ignoring the giant. So the mini P.E.K.K.A. is getting distracted by all the small stuff. And now he plays defense as he uses the barbs against the giants, minimizing damage on his tower. Here he's got to consider throwing something on the left to avoid damage on his tower. He uses the arrows, which has no value there. So the skeletons are going to slow down the barbarians, and here he throws a bomber to deal with the spawn of skeletons that come out. So he's going to get a little damage on this tower. Here he throws the goblin barrel. And it looks like he's going to get the first crown. Knight too little too late. So now at this point, since it looks like he's trying to protect his other tower, I'd probably just play offensively and just deal with it quickly. So there's the musketeer. And the knight's going to come in and shoot down the spear hut. Throws off the one-drop skeleton, but the musketeer's still on that hut. So baby dragon and the giant out. That skeleton thing gets taken out quickly. The knight does go down. And spear goblins are out. He needs a bomber. Or arrows. Now he really needs arrows. Let's say he used the mini P.E.K.K.A. defensively. Arrow's way late there in my opinion. So Giant is going to get hacked away at that mini P.E.K.K.A. So Bomber deals with the skeletons and throws out another barrel. So he uses a baby dragon to finish off the goblins with minimal damage. So at this point, the barrel is costing him a lot of elixir. And now he throws out barbs. Does have the bomber down because he's using a lot of small troops. So the arrows throws out another barrel. I would just ignore it at this point. And it looks like Barbarian is going to hack away at it. And the bomber gives him 3 stars. So he gets the well played from Juju 43 as he beats up a level 6. Good job, Statelover. So that looks like all the replays. Now we're going to show our record. This is how our log is looking at Arena 6. Here we had a 1-1, 1-2 defeat, 3-0, 3-0, a 1-3, as he did take out my tower. I think this is the one that was in Arena 7. 1-0, 3-0, 0-1 against Kevin, and also have a 3-1, 1-0 against Ryu. And we're going to show this replay from Min. It's a 3-crown. I think this was the one where he actually just kind of win traded. So yeah, I think this is the one where he actually win traded. So the arrow's nothing. And throws the bomber kind of nowhere, and he rockets his own bomber. Arrow, so as you see, he's not even playing the game. This is kind of stupid. So that was like the first ever win trade that HollywoodShono ever had. So as you see the log, it is more wins than losses, obviously. I mean, we are losing in Arena 6, but as you see, we are getting some 3 crowns. Obviously, that one was definitely unfair there. So unfortunately, we can't show the replay against Spider-Man, but a lot of respect goes out to Spider-Man because he actually held me to 0-0. So I'm not sure if this is a deck that he used during that fight. I think we can actually check it out. Yeah, he's got the Knight, the Mini P.E.K.K.A, the Spear Goblins, a Mortar, which I never saw him use, the Baby Dragon, and the Bomber, Arrows, and the Valkyrie. So he's got a lot of splash damage. It's basically kind of well-rounded, but it's not like super huge. Like the Knight can be a solid troop to deal with a lot of stuff because it is kind of a mid-range card, kind of like the Valkyrie. But it does have the health, and it does attack pretty quickly. So if you like this video showing HollywoodShono dominating Arena 6, as well as some replays from Mirage, Mr. K, and Statelover, please give this video a like rating, comment, subscribe, share this video amongst your friends, and as a favorite, check out my other Clash Royale videos, my playlist, Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch, which are all HollywoodShono, and make sure to follow me on both Camcord and Twitch so you can see me live streaming. Have a wonderful day, kid.
www.youtube.com/HollywoodShono. Subscribe, bitches!